I've noticed there's a very popular phenomenon on the internet, probably spawned by, is it Jimmy Kimmel, Adam Fallon? Not Adam Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon. Okay, yeah, there's two Jimmys. It's way too confusing. Sorry, I don't know TV. I don't know what's going on. But apparently, there's a phenomenon called reading mean tweets, where you get people who are celebrities or musicians or what have you, and they read really mean-spirited things about themselves for entertainment purposes to kind of shine a light on just how the internet de-individuates people and gets them to say things that they probably wouldn't say in real life out of fear of getting the crap kicked out of them. Well, with that in mind, there's an idea I've had for quite a while that I've never actually gone, full metal with, which, I finally decided to get around to. And it's a good one. Now, if you're a long-time follower of this may or may not be satire, you know that periodically I like to do videos about the fundamental absurdity of the whole conspiracy theorist mindset. Now, the funny thing about this is I actually go out there and I can see a little bit of ground by saying, yes, in history there has been instances of the U.S. government and other individuals with high-ranking abilities and powers going out there and doing some really nefarious things. The problem with that is you have to have proof. And ironically enough, the exact same proof that we use as a standard to verify things like Operation Northwoods and MK Ultra, when you try to present that information as a rationale for why their conspiracy theories are wrong, they refute it. So it's a complete contradiction. You need the paperwork from the government to verify the conspiracy theories exist, but when you show them the proper paperwork, they refute it and say it's fabrication, it's a lie, and nobody wins. So it's a complete, catch-22. No matter what, you never win with a conspiracy theorist. They always come up with something new. And as a result, I get a lot of really disgusting, hate-filled messages, and I don't publish them. And that's ultimately why I leave the comments off for most of the videos, because the things these people say, I mean, not just like insulting me, I mean hardcore like anti-Semitic remarks, racist remarks, homophobic remarks. These people are just completely, really just disgusting. I mean, some things they say, they are just completely no care whatsoever about social standards. And the argument there is people get mad at me. It's like, oh, well, you're blocking my free speech, which shows these people really don't actually know what the First Amendment is. The First Amendment only protects people from being silenced, their free expression by the government. And in case you didn't know, I'm not the government. YouTube, a subsidiary of the Alphabet Company, is not the government. Basically, what is going on here is every time you go on the internet and you post something really vile and reprehensible on one of my videos, if I block that or remove it, that's not me censoring you. That's equivalent of me going out there and washing off graffiti you have left. Technically, it's my virtual property. It's something I have under license from YouTube, and it's my right to do what I want with it. And if you don't like it, I don't care. You don't deserve an opinion. It's my show. So with that in mind, I'm going to go through the spam filter here because there is some really great stuff. Don't know how long. I might do like maybe 5 or 6 to kind of show you just how out there these people are. And trust me, they are out there. So let's begin with, we've got a comment here from a guy. I'm not going to say his name because I actually have something called tastes. I don't want to get these people in too much trouble. And I have to censor this. I'm going to leave out all the curse words and the really hilarious things, but I will leave in all the grammatical errors and the really hilarious things they say. We have a upset person, and all this is a direct quote. Here we go. Quotation marks. You have a video saying there is no such thing as Illuminati, and then cut, it should be noted, is with 2 T's, out comments. And then there's a list for my videos, and actually it's a list for a different video. And this person says, quotation marks, here, watch this video and see the history, the Roman numerals on USA $1 bill. Bottom of pyramid is 1776 year N.W.O created Illuminati and the many Freemasons like Manly P. Hall, Albert Pike, and Aleister Crowley. No punctuation, no commas at all, and all that. Back to it, quotations say they worship Lucifer. Same Aleister Crowley, completely misspelled. On Beatles and Jimmy Page bought his mansion, got a Satanist to redecorate to Ozzy's Mr. Crowley song Jay-Z, and Rockefeller record, Rockefeller, and much more. Yet no, you want to try to debunk what you clear never researched to begin with. Nothing is capitalized. There is no punctuation whatsoever, no commas. It's just all a long, meandering, run-on sentence, except it's not actually a sentence. There's no period. It's just a guy typing. I'm pretty sure English is not his first language, and if it is, woo, these people are in a lot more trouble than I thought. All right, so that was a good starting point. Now let's see what else we have here. Keep going down. La 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 la. As far as the spam filter, I mean, this stuff goes back quite a while. Really not a whole lot of interesting stuff. Oh, here's a good one. From a commenter who claims to be from Holland. You, and I quote, are a lousy person. And what you're actually doing is blaming other people for something you're doing yourself. Okay. Well, I'll take that as something. Well, let's see what else. Oh, here's a good one. You can just tell by this guy's profile photo. It's like Ultraman. It's going to be great. Quotation mark, the crazy train is coming. Oh, wow, this is like a Tolstoy. All right, so here we go. Conspiracy theorists are idiots. Let's take a look at some of the common phrases that conspiracy theorists like to repeat on a daily basis. Open your eyes and wake up, sheeple. Here's his comment. My eyes are open, thank you very much. If you've reached the point where you think that anyone who disagrees with your opinion is blind, then you've crossed a line into smug territory. Turn back now, because it's kind of high horse BS that will make people actively avoid you. Learn to accept the fact that reading InfoWars and watching low-quality conspiracy videos on YouTube does not make you more enlightened than everyone else. Oh, actually, this is actually supporting my cause and supporting my claims. So you know what? I think I'm going to actually permit this one. That's a good one. I don't know how it slipped through the radar. That's definitely solid. All right, let's keep moving along here. What else do we have? Sorry, I mean, it's very pell-mell, but, you know, how are you going to get this stuff? Oh, here's one from a guy whose logo is a camouflage background with a skull and swords, so he's very innovative, it appears. He says, and I quote, explain the TTP. I think he means the Trans-Pacific Partnership. So in that case, the acronym would actually be TPP, but who's counting? If you don't think I believe there should be an apostrophe after the E, a higher power controlling everything, DA. I am Australian, and the water supply here, only 1 PN supply, has a massive fluoride content. Fluoride misspelled. It's easy to tell. Just get a fish tank pH level kit and try it on your own water. See if it's drinkable. I doubt it. I put in a complaint and got ignored. Why, you may ask? Because people don't want to believe. He may mean believe, but I don't know, he's Australian. Could be some different term. They're happy in their fake world, and he used their wrong in both cases. With their PC games and porn sites, do some effing research before you go put up S. Okay, well, you know, if I have to use the same standard of quality for his research, then I've already done my part. Apparently, Australia, they're not actually teaching the kids logic, punctuation, syntax, apparently, is not going on down there. Here's a good one. Regarding your Illuminati video, ... Apparently you haven't done your own research, ... You're either an idiot or a paid troll, ... Wake up, ... Watch the headlines, ... Welcome to your servitude, ! Dumb ASS. Have you noticed there, when they're refuting my argument, they're not actually refuting my points. They're just coming out here saying that I'm being paid off by the Illuminati and that I'm a sheep. They're not actually addressing what I'm saying and offering reputation points. No, there's something to think about. Here's another good one from someone who appears to be a female, but I could be wrong here. LOL, the only morons I see is people like you who don't even look into their theories. Once again, we're seeing that come into play. Plus, you've made more than one video on this topic, so apparently you have no life. Not us, quote-unquote, conspiracy theorists. I'm pretty sure it should be plural. A little advice, get off YouTube and get a real job! ! That's kind of funny because I actually do have a real job. In fact, I went to college and have a well-paying professional career, and I just do this on the weekend because I'm bored and have nothing better to do. So yeah, I'm way ahead of you. I mean, if that's your only advice, I beat you to the punch. So what else? And also, I like the fact that you directly addressed some of your concerns. Okay, and here's another one from the same person, a little bit later down. Since when is it smart to let the and quote unquote system think for you? Do me a favor and think for yourself, and do your own research, and quit replying on what the GD media wants you to think. So the question I have here, and I have this question all the time, who do you consider to be an authoritative source? If you don't trust the media, if you don't trust the government, who do you trust? Give me a list of people I can go to, who I can count on to not be spokes nuts for whatever conspiracy theorist you believe in. Do they exist? Where do they get their information? What is their standard of proof or evidence? Nobody ever provides this because it does not exist. It's just a tautological argument. All right. Oh, and here's the one guy from Australia again. Quote unquote, he's replying to someone else. I don't believe the entire nation of America is stupid, ... However, I do believe that the higher powers dumbed down the nation with GMOs and fluoride, once again fluoride misspelled, for easy control. How else do you explain Donald Trump, Arnold Schwarzenegger, 9/11, use of nuclear power? He spells nuclear Nuclear, power, cannabis laws, spelled Canibis, and the fact that the whole world hates and thinks Americans are the most effed up people on this planet. Okay, do I believe the higher power has dumbed down the GMO? It's kind of funny that he's ripping on America being dumbed down and everyone hating us, when in fact we're the most powerful economic engine in human history, the freest country in the world, the greatest military, and everyone in the world wants to live here. Okay, apparently we're doing a pretty good job of being terrible. Alright, what else do we have here? Okay, here we go. It's from a guy, I can't say his name, but it rhymes with 10-year dog. You would be an expert on simplistic. What are the people who are saying BS going to come close to the truth? So they hire you? Yes, because I'm on the payroll of the Illuminati. You would know misinformation. He's giving me the title, misinformation, because I'm like a woman. See, it's funny. The lack of seeing kids is from police dash cams, not Google, so take your BS down. The cover-up is over. Just admit the lie, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. I believe this is in a response to one of the Sandy Hook videos. So once again, they're going after me for not allowing their comments, telling me to take down what I've already posted. So as you can see, there's a little bit of hypocrisy come from the moment where they like information that supports their claims but don't want anybody else to say anything else. Not exactly the most democratic worldview, that's for sure. All right, here's another guy who looks like he could be in a Hannibal Lecter movie. What's your motivation? Instead of the I, there's an O. Why are you attacking people who think? We see right through you. You should be ashamed of yourself, but I guess you need the money. Please explain, since you are making a fool of yourself. Yep, a fool. Says the guy who, once again, cannot come up with a single rational, concrete argument against something I said and refuted it. Let's see what else we got going on here. All right, we'll do about 2 or 3 more. Let's see. Boring. There's some decent stuff in here. Oh, here's a good one. The cost of freedom is eternal vigilance. Vigilance isn't corrective, it's preventative. If we need to take corrective action against conspirators, then we aren't vigilant enough to prevent the conspiracy to begin with. If a theory is wrong but points out a potential theorist and the theorist is right even if he was wrong to begin with, they're not called conspiracy hypotheses. Theories are based on fact. If I believe that all conspiracies are idiots, then I'm an idiot. Now, first off, where did I ever say all conspiracy theorists are idiots? Never happened, so that's a false argument to begin with. Secondly, this complete master wordsmithing of terminology, my goodness, the oratory here, that you can actually say a conspiracy theorist is wrong and still be right, somehow, if it leads to some sort of tangential truth. No, you have to have evidence. You have to actually prove causation. That's logic. That's 101. And people Just don't get it. Pretty great. All right, one more. Let's find something to go out on a high note. Something great. All right, here we go. Hi, didn't watch the video because the title was immature and biased. Not biased, just by us. Just thought I'd stop by and leave a negative comment about your video because you waste your time talking about how stupid these people are when in fact if they are stupid they'd better off left alone and shouldn't have too many people bothering with them. That makes no sense. But since you care enough to waste your time making a effing video titled Why These People Are Idiots, obviously they matter enough to get under your skin. So get a life. Well, yes, they do matter quite a bit to me because they have an overrepresentation on the internet. They go around harassing people. We saw that with the Sandy Hook victims. We saw that with the victims of 9/11. We see them absolutely gumming up things and actually committing acts of cyber terrorism, going after people, doxing them, doing all sorts of things that are quite bad. And obviously, when you get down to it, the problem I have here is, I guess the fundamental rub with the conspiracy theorists is you look at them and the way they talk, it's almost as if you would think that we are living in an Orwellian society. When the fact of the matter is, even if all of this was true, even if there is an Illuminati and they're running the world and they're putting stuff in our chemicals, whatever, and we're drinking poison, you know what? I live a pretty good life. You know, I grew up in a very, very poor home life. I went to college and I worked my way up the rung. And I was given that through an incredibly great country called America. And no one has really invaded my privacy. The government's not stooped out after me. In fact, I actually feel very free. I can pretty much do whatever I want, pending it's legal and moral. And the fact of the matter is, conspiracy theorists, for whatever reason, are people who don't feel as if they have that same sense of liberty, responsibility, and adulthood. So what do? Well, of course, they take solace in this grand, neurotic fantasy that there's some overarching conspiratorial force putting pressure on them, when it isn't. You know, the thing about conspiracy theorists and really modern day life is you have so much freedom. You're in control of your own life. You can do whatever you want. Go to college, take care of your money, be your own man. But a lot of people, they just can't do that. They want to have an excuse, some sort of culprit, something they can look back and say, hey, the reason why I'm not where I am, what I want to be, it's because of this. So it's already a sanctimonious victimhood idea that they purport. That's a good word you might want to use, purport. It means allege, but not confirmed, which is conspiracy theories, I think, in a general nutshell. So there we go. Just a couple of fun notes. I hope to get a whole lot more interesting ones, but like you said, there's a common theme here. They just come out and name call and don't actually cite specific things I say, and when they do, they get in this bizarre linguistic jiu-jitsu match with me. They're trying to say that you can be wrong and right simultaneously. Well, anyway, that's the brain trust. These are people that go around calling everybody sheep and telling us they're all wrong, and when you confront them about it and give them, pretty solid, evidence, they run away. They call you a member of the Illuminati. I had one guy call me a reptilian once. That was great. And at the end of the day, they're just people that can't come to grips with freedom. They can't come to grips with adulthood and being out there and being in charge of their own life. They just don't know how to live. Therefore, conspiracies, Illuminatis, N.W.O, anything to make them feel better about the fact that they just don't have a life as good as you and me. Well, that's my first edition. Hopefully we'll get some better ones coming out, but just if you ever wanted some insight into the mind of the contemporary conspiracy theorist, that's what you're experiencing. And obviously, you're not missing a whole lot.